What are the old conditionings and stories that are blocking you from achieving your goals at work or recognizing your goals? They can be familial from your childhood. Dad never took risks, so you don't take risks. Or you stay humble, you don't brag. And it's not about bragging or having an ego or being narcissistic. It's about appreciating your will, your desire, how you were able to manifest with the creation energy around your dreams, around how you want to live your daily life. What do you want the atmosphere of your life to, what is that foundation? Because our work in the world is one of the expressions of who we are, and it's not the only one. And for everyone, it's different. For some people, a job is really just something in order to sustain oneself. And for other people, it is a vital part of your expression and to be able to enjoy, to be able to feel fulfilled, to be able to be recognized, for you to recognize yourself and for others to recognize what you're putting into it and how much that means to you is so important. Guidance. What do we need guidance on, actually? What is the guidance? Comparison, right? So we don't want to compare ourselves. We don't want to compare ourselves to a variety of levels. We don't want to compare ourselves to family, how the family did things, how your parents did things. For some of you, there's this sort of a lineage of this is how we work. We go to this kind of a position and this is how many hours we put in and we get this in return. And maybe you want to embrace a more fluid schedule where it's not Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You want to work. You don't mind working 7 days a week. Put a couple of hours in on a Sunday so you can have more time off on a Monday. And to not feel like people are judging or making you feel weird. For some of you, you're in a smaller town and a lot of people don't do things the way you do. And the guidance here is to embrace your resiliency and strength as you begin to carve a new path that others will follow. So you're taking the initiative, your bravery really, to be seen for who you are by you and to forego judgment or to be able to let it go or to let it roll off, or even if it bothers you sometimes to be able to be like, yeah, but what's the alternative? Living a life that isn't something that I want to live on a daily basis. And you need to know that this path you are carving, others will follow in your area. You're going to make it more normal. You're bringing where you live up into the new trend. For some of you, you do a lot of work on Zoom and people don't get it. And for some reason, it's not working completely online it doesn't feel as valid to people around you. And I want to say that there are younger adults that are seeing what you're creating online, and it's inspiring to them because it's reaffirming what they know, like in their body, in their soul, in their gut, in their heart about what they want to do. And with this aloneness, there are some of you here watching this that you're taking the time to be alone on purpose. You feel like you're carving a path for you for You don't know it's necessarily for others right now, but it's this forging of a path of something new. And you recognize that you might have to take a left when everyone else is going right. Or I'm picking up there are people watching, you're watching this, and you know that it's time to leave. And there's a lot of comparison around what will you do next? Where will you go? Maybe you don't have anything planned, but you want to go off on a journey. And I'm hearing eat, pray, love. So some of you really do want to take some time off. And you want to go on a pilgrimage of sorts and rediscover yourself. Rediscover the resiliency and the flexibility. That you don't want to be rigid. That you can appreciate what has come before you and all the people that have forged the path that you have been able to take, but still realize that you have to forge your own. They forged theirs, now you forge yours. And there is an appreciation of you couldn't go where you are going to go without everyone that came before you. But I think what people forget is that there's always somebody who has to take that left turn and go off and take that pilgrimage. For some of you, you really do want to take your savings. And if this is what you were thinking, this is the validation. This is the yes, this is the guidance that you're going to be okay. It's the right move to go and take a year and like travel. For some of you, you want to take time off to be with your children. Some of you are contemplating leaving a really big job and you want to get the 401k, whatever it is, you want to take all that. You have your savings and you really just, you don't care about having the fanciest car. You really just need to get out of the race. You really just want to spend quiet time. You want to be with your children. You don't want to, and this is for a man or a woman. You want to show your children that it's okay to be different, that it's okay to be unique, that just because everybody thinks that certain things are important or having certain material things are important or spending your entire life, and that ambition means a certain kind of thing, that if you're ambitious, there are certain goals that you reach. Or if you're ambitious, then these are the material objects that you get, and that what you want to show yourself and others is that ambition can be there's a more flexible idea of ambition. Some of you really do want to travel. You want to go somewhere else and live. I'm hearing Costa Rica. I'm hearing Europe, Spain, Barcelona. Some of you are thinking about Mexico. And you have this awareness that has been a rebirth in what you believe a career should be. That there's a part of you that died reaching a certain goal in your career, or you've reached a certain goal and it's almost like it's a cycle has ended because you reached this certain goal. And it's like there's nowhere else to go. So you could stay where you are and be comfortable, and maybe, you're making a lot of money and you could just stay there and make that amount of money, but there's nowhere else to go. And it's do I go off? Do I become the seeker? Do I become the one that is okay with walking away? Am I okay with being the one that everyone thinks is the loner or different? And the Four of Cups, hanging on, or contemplating hanging on. Some of you, your heart was broken in your current job. There was a huge disappointment. And you're hanging on to that disappointment. And it's like something will never be the same anymore. You felt abandoned. And there became a conscious awareness of the reality of what this position or what this work environment really is. Like, you thought that there was something else. And what you are very aware of now is the shadow side in those people, that environment, that project, and the shadow within yourself. Light came in where the dark was and showed you what was in those dark places within yourself, what you were hiding. I think some of you were hiding your heart in order to stay protected, in order to survive the environment. So Page of Wands, Queen of Wands. It's like this is that very passionate, very creative. This is the leader. This is very confident. These have the same qualities, but it's younger. So this feels the comparison because it's both fire energy, but one is the mature, has achieved, again, mastered these abilities. And it's, do you want to be seen as someone who's taking all of their talent and potential and acting like a 25-year-old? I think some of you have been told you're acting younger. If you're 25, you're being told you're acting 12. If you're 50, you're being told you're acting like you're 25. It's, what are you doing? What are you going to go start fresh? And there's the joy in both, right? If you've achieved this once, then you can achieve it again. That these two live inside each other. It's every stage of who you are, all your ages live inside of you. So there is, within this queen, there is this princess, there is this page, there is this child that wants to come out and play and rediscover, that never wants to feel like they are comparing themselves to anybody else, that doesn't want to feel left alone or out in the sideline, or feel that you're confined by something, that it's all rigid, that it's not fluid, that in order to be successful, to be considered an ambitious person, you have to have these things, you have to do these things, right? I want to be more free. I want to create within my creation, right? I've created something. Now I want to go in there and create again. And reevaluating it, taking the time, taking the pause, and not worrying about what anybody is saying about you because you're not moving fast enough, right? Because people expect you to move. They expect you to be very active. These are very active energies. And at the moment, it's more of that hermit, slow moving energy that wants to take its time, that there's a value of a slower burn, of maybe putting the pot down and simmering it as opposed to blasting it out and going at a full boil. Some of you want to get out of a contract. Some of you didn't realize what a contract was saying. Or somebody is putting upon, they're holding you to a certain contractual thing that's making you feel very confined, like you're very held back. Like for some of you, it could be you have to stay there another year, or you're only going to get a certain amount of part of the money that you're owed, or a pension, if you stay a certain amount of time, and it makes you feel very confined. Or there's some sort of a loophole or something that you didn't quite understand. And you're thinking like, how much do you care about that? And I'm hearing a loophole within a loophole. Is there, for some of you, there's a lawyer, or you have a friend who's a lawyer, or you can contact a lawyer, because what you're being told is not necessarily true. There's some kind of an imbalance where people are expecting you to not understand what is in a contract. So you need to go find someone that you can trust to really read a contract out. The Knight of Pentacles, taking the time. This child that is full of creativity and love and just wants to like burst out and do it. It's after that time, after that space, after that pause, it's recognizing that the manifestation with slowness and consistency will grow in a more sustainable way. Seven of Cups, reevaluation. You see the snake? It's reevaluation, transformation, or a transformation that leads to an evaluation. What are you letting go of? What skin are you shedding? What mask are you removing? It's like you have many opportunities, and it's feeling into which one is the one that's right for you. That's so interesting. There are these ladders. So it's like, do you want to expand out? You want to expand up? Do you want to expand out? And I'm hearing treehouse. So instead of expanding, going up, like climbing up, it's like an expanding out, which feels very different as opposed to trying to I'm climbing up, right? It's no, I want to be expansive. I want to be inclusive of all the parts of yourself and inclusive of all the different people in your life. Friends. For some of you, you want to do things, you have friends that are a resource, and you want to create something that's like a communal workspace. For some of you, it's you want to get together and create an actual workspace where a bunch of freelance people can come together and share a big, beautiful space, and everyone has a place to work, and it becomes reasonable for people to come together financially. Somebody out there, if you're looking for that, there's going to be a space that comes up, and it may not be the first one that you look at, but it might be the second or third space that you look at. So don't worry if something falls through. And there's going to be enough people, so you should reach out. You should reach out to your friends, because there are other people that want to have, you want to feel like there's community. So individuals coming together that have their own business, but there's inspiration that you get from each other, from being together. It's that better together. And the Eight of Wands, King of Swords, having the clarity about what blocks you, what these conditionings are, that you've had to, it's like this rehearing of certain stories your whole life. For some of you, it's like what your parents said, your current boss is saying, or it's almost like what your parents said to you is being reflected in what current bosses or maybe all your bosses has said to you. And this is seeing that it's like you're picking your father or your mother in your bosses. Sort of like how they say you marry your mother or your father. It's like you're picking bosses that are like that. And it's, wait a second, oh my God, like I'm really better off taking a break. But this clarity around what you don't want and around being okay with taking the time that you need brings in opportunity. And it brings in a place of feeling energized and inspired in your heart. That was career. That was this week. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. I'm Kristen. I hope that if you want to subscribe that you will. It would mean a lot to have you here. I'd love to have you as a member of the community. Please give me a thumbs up. Let me know what resonated with you in the comments below. Join me weekly for weekly energies, for love energies, for career energies, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye.